Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. Do you think the WWE knows the damage that they are doing to their company and their roster when they book the way that they have been booking shows like we get to see tonight? Would you agree with me if I told you that they are failing the women on an epic level? If you don't, stick around and allow me to change your mind. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you're watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name, like I said, is Nick Nightmare. This is my trusty tag team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and of course, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review for August the 27th. 2018. And I started off the show today with a couple of questions because there are some issues that we need to address. I talked about the damage that the WWE is doing to the roster. I talked about the damage that it is doing to its fan base. Because they come across as seemingly not being able to make up their mind. The WWE is putting us as fans in an impossible position where at some point we just really don't know what the hell to do. We tell you guys who we like, we cheer for the people we want, we boo the people we dislike, and you give us the exact opposite. It's like he does it on purpose. And you're going to drive away your fan base. You're almost driving away a majority of the fans as it is. You're making it worse with every single week that we have to see the Shield being booked for no other purpose than to make Roman Reigns get the reaction that Vince McMahon wants him to get. I don't understand it. I will never understand it for the life of me. They will turn anybody. As we've seen tonight, they are now trying to turn Braun Strowman. They're trying to turn Becky Lynch. WWE's turning everybody more than they turn the fucking Big Show. That's a lot of goddamn turns. Everybody except the one guy that needs a turn. Look at what happened at the end of tonight's show. You had Braun Strowman, the guy that gets the biggest pop on Monday Night Raw consistently all year long. The guy the fans want to see succeed. The guy the fans are waiting to see that moment to erupt when he cashes in that Money in the Bank contract. And you took that away from the fans tonight. You took that moment away from us. Now we can't anticipate that momentary cash-in, that surprise cash-in. I'm Braun Strowman, I'm going to cash into your face, I'm the monster among men, I'm a man, but now I'm going to get back up so that I can kick your ass because you got friends. I'm a monster. Why am I afraid of three guys? It's driving my brain absolutely insane that they would attempt to turn Braun Strowman heel. I'm not going to boo Braun Strowman. And shame on each and every one of you guys in Toronto tonight. Toronto is one of the greatest wrestling cities in the world. Maybe even the greatest wrestling city in the world. I would fully have expected you guys to be cheering your asses off as Braun Strowman laid waste to Roman Reigns tonight. But we get the boos, right? But maybe, and I'm willing to place some money down on this, maybe those boos that were raining down on Strowman and McIntyre and Ziggler as the show closed tonight were not boos of boo, we don't like you, but probably more the fans voicing their disapproval of what they've just seen the WWE do. Toronto has a lot of smart mark fans. There are very knowledgeable people about wrestling in Toronto. I will guarantee you most of that reaction was because they did not like the choice the WWE made on this night. Nobody wants to boo Braun Strowman. Just like nobody wants to boo Becky Lynch on SmackDown Live, but they're going to try to do it. Turning everybody except the ones that need to turn. Having all these people in the wrong parts. That's why the show comes off like a big piece of shit. Did we have a great match with Kevin Owens tonight? Absolutely we did. Kevin Owens went up against Seth Rollins, who has repeatedly given us match of the night candidates all year long on a Monday Night Raw. But what good did it do Kevin Owens? It did absolutely nothing. The WWE could have taken a risk, taken the Intercontinental Championship out of this bullshit Shield reunion, put it back on Kevin Owens, kickstart him back up to the level he's at when you see how he's performing tonight and the promo that he cut prior to his match tonight. The man is a star. The man is a former Universal Champion. And the man's been a joke on Monday Night Raw. Why not take a chance? Do something different. Shake it up. No, you need Seth to be the champion so he has extra armor to encounter all the hate for Roman Reigns and soak it in and absorb it in on a now wasted Intercontinental Championship that's just lost in Roman Reigns' storyline. And you're okay with this. You can't look at tonight and see any clearer that the Shield was put together only to protect Roman Reigns. Only to try to get the fans on the side of Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins had his entire program with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre moved to the main event picture to suit the Roman Reigns agenda. Dean Ambrose came back. For what? To fight Jinder fucking Mahal? That's how clueless this was put together. You had nothing for Dean Ambrose to do tonight. You would have been better off just leaving him in the back. Keeping him walking around like a crazy lunatic. Jinder Mahal. That's what you got Dean Ambrose coming back for. Awful. Absolutely awful. You want to talk about even more awful? Everybody calm down, because we're going to start to talk about the ladies, and I know some of you get your nuts in a twist when I talk about the ladies, but you better get your shit ready, because the WWE is the culprit here. The WWE is failing the women's division on an epic level. When you look at what we got as a segment tonight for Elias as the lead-in to the women's division promo segment, because that's all it was. You can't count a 1-minute match versus Alicia Fox as a match for anybody. So the match didn't even count. It didn't even matter. It was a promotional segment for Evolution. Who was in this segment? We had a WWE Hall of Famer, 3 former divas, and a UFC heavyweight champion that has not been in this company even a full year yet. The Bellas were gone before the revolution truly began, off doing their divas and their birdie bees and all their other bullshit that they want to spend their time on. They don't give a shit about wrestling anymore. Why are they involved? Then you got Ronda Rousey, who's been here for a blip, and she's the champion now, so yeah, she has her place. Just like the Bellas have their place. It's not at the top. It's not the centerpiece. They should not be the focal point of this whole thing. Natalya, I'll give a pass to because of what just happened to her in her personal life. I'm not going to get too hard on Natalya. She is probably the longest tenured diva still active on the main roster, so sure, she has a place. But she's a remnant from the Divas division. And these are the 5 main players? These are the 5 big names? Trish Stratus, somebody who hasn't been around or wrestled in over a decade, has only been here for the Women's Royal Rumble, and now is being placed in a meaningless match with Alexa Bliss. And that's how you promote it? That's the best way to go about it. 5 women that have little or almost nothing to do with the true meaning of a woman's revolution. You want to promote that show? You want to get people to buy fucking tickets? Why don't you take 2 girls that can wrestle, give them 20 minutes on Monday Night Raw, and let them tear the goddamn house down? Give me Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riott. Give them a nice 20-minute matchup. You watch and see what you would get out of that. Give me Ember Moon versus anybody. Give me a Bayley versus anybody. I'm telling you, these girls can wrestle. Bayley versus Ruby, I think, would be a great match. Sasha versus Ember. That's how you promote women's wrestling. You got the Mae Young Classic coming up in just a week. And the difference between one show and the other is going to make the average viewer go, that's not what they show on Monday night. Am I wrong? Watch the Mae Young Classic. That's the reason to go see Evolution, because the finals of that tournament is going to take place then. How little have we heard about that so far in the lead up and everything they want to talk about? Evolution, it's the revolution. What do the fucking Bellas have to do with the revolution? Because they started a hashtag that trended? What the hell does Trish have to do with the revolution right now? Nothing. Nothing. There is a place on this card for everybody. There really is. But the WWE would have done better to book Trish Stratus versus somebody that means a little more and somebody that could perform at a higher level than an Alexa Bliss. You look back at the Women's Royal Rumble, it's right there. It's right fucking there in front of you. Sasha Banks and Trish Stratus had a very tense moment in the Women's Royal Rumble. Trish Stratus eliminated Sasha Banks after she was the longest running woman in the damn Royal Rumble. And then had the sense and the frame of mind to jab the knife in her back just a little more by giving her her little boss move while she was watching from the outside. You have seeds planted there. Something to work with. Sasha could work with that. Make Sasha the heel and Trish the triumphant babyface returning legend, and she puts over Sasha Banks at Evolution. What would have been wrong with that? Why is she wrestling Alexa Bliss? These are some of the problems I've had with tonight's show. You're going to listen to everything I just tell you, and you're going to tell me that I'm wrong about the WWE failing the women. How is that going to make anybody want to buy tickets? Seeing the Bellas come back tonight, telling everybody they're going to wrestle next week on Monday Night Raw, Natty and Ronda being all buddy-buddy, and Trish Stratus in the background. That's going to make you buy a ticket? Maybe if you don't really give a shit about women's wrestling, maybe if you're a fan of Total Divas, or maybe you're a 50-year-old virgin who never got fucking laid in your life. That'll get you going down to the show. To see all these girls in their scantily clad skivvies. You're giving me the Divas division. I'm going to treat it like the Divas division. You want me to treat it like a women's wrestling division? Book it like one. You will all know exactly what I mean when you tune into this year's Mae Young Classic. If you watched last year's, you already know what I mean. It's incomparable. The differences are just too much. It's like NXT to Monday Night Raw. The Mae Young Classic to Monday Night Raw. It's apples and oranges. Doesn't matter how many big names you want to bring back. WWE going into their little cookie jar and pulling out old stale fucking cookies. That's why we gotta watch Triple H and the Undertaker promos all night long. We're gonna have Shawn Michaels come back next week and give us probably a 20-minute epilogue about how the end of the era wasn't really the end of the era and this match needs to fucking happen. Are you kidding me? This is the match that least needs to happen ever of all time. You are ruining a legacy that was ended perfectly based off of the fact that Vince McMahon don't have the balls to put this Super Showdown card on the backs of his younger talent. You're going to Australia how often? How often do they go to Down Under over there in New Zealand in the Australia area? That continent barely, if ever, sees professional wrestling. You think you can't sell out an arena? You know how many starving wrestling fans are down there? You think you need to book a stupid match between two 50-year-old guys? I'm the biggest Undertaker fan ever. I don't want to see him wrestling anymore. They've already ruined the end of his career. Multiple times. Triple H, there's always a place for Triple H to wrestle against the Undertaker? No. Why don't you go in there against a Samoa Joe and put the young kid over? Why don't you have a match with AJ Styles? Give us something we never seen before. AJ Styles versus The Game, one time only. A special match just for the Super Showdown. Why not? Nothing else you do makes sense. Why not do something really off the fucking wall like that? At least that would be interesting. You'd watch it. You know you would. No, but instead of the Phenomenal One, we get the Phenom versus the Game. How many times did we have to see that tonight? Do they really think that they need to push that match? How much do you need to promote a match of that level? It's such a big match. You announce it once, we all know. You had Triple H come out and cut a promo, we know. You're not going to have The Undertaker come and do his promo. You're going to have Shawn Michaels come instead and hype the match. Like, you're not going to hype it all night long anyway. The rest of the show was absolutely a waste of my night, with the exception of the Intercontinental Championship match. I was a little disappointed in the ending. I kind of expected Kevin Owens to win, but I was giving the WWE too much credit in that case. I said, oh, here's something they could do. Actually a viable opponent in an open challenge that actually makes sense. Kevin Owens ain't doing anything right now. He needs a shot in the arm to reignite his career. But that's not what we got. We got more of the same old shit. Just like how this show started out, you got Roman Reigns coming out, throwing the world title, the Universal title, over his shoulder like a trash bag. Absolutely disrespectful if you ask me. You are the champion. You've worked so hard to get that belt, right? Why aren't you wearing it? Wear it. Show it. Display it proudly. Don't hold it at your waist so the camera guy can see it and then throw it over your back like a bag of trash. It irks me to no end to see these types of things. Wear it on your shoulder. At least show the goddamn plate. I know nobody likes the belt, but show it. Show the championship you were so hard to earn, throwing it over your back like it means nothing, like an old jacket. What are you, Frank Sinatra, walking into fucking Las Vegas? Let me throw my jacket over my shoulder. You're a fucking champion. Wear it proudly. Think you'd ever see Bret the Hitman Hart hiding the belt behind his back? Come on now, man. Absolutely ridiculous. The Rock used to throw it up over his shoulder, and that even annoyed me, but at least he came out displaying it, wearing it around his waist, draping it over his shoulder. He'd go to the top rope and be like, fuck this belt, look at me. Can you smell it? Because I can. It's bullshit. I hate it. And then we get the beginning of what would essentially be the end. Really. Because this isn't going anywhere. Roman Reigns is going to be the champion for a long time, if you ask me. Vince has what he wants. He's not going to let it go. And you proved it by the way he booked this show tonight and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman comes out to confront Roman Reigns, tells him he's cashing in his Money in the Bank contract at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Initially, I don't mind the pre-notice type of thing. But when he gave the briefcase to Baron Corbin later on in the night, it just took all the wind out of it. You took the special moment away from the crowd. Like I said at the beginning of the show. There's going to be no big pop for Strowman's cash-in. It's just going to be a match with Roman Reigns now. Taking all the specialness away. Why did you give it to him then? Baron Corbin, Constable Dickhead, now General Manager Dickhead, wants to have his fingerprints all over the show tonight. He comes out after Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out talking shit to Roman Reigns, saying that they're done with Seth Rollins and they want to move on to Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman for some reason. Right? By the end of the show, we know what the reason is. But this whole thing is set up. Baron Corbin approves it. He then makes the match at the Hell in a Cell official, and then he makes a match for himself against Smiley Finn once again. Like we haven't seen this 100 times. For the 6th time in the last 4 weeks, we're going to see these two guys go at it. But he made the caveat known, oh, well, I made this to face Finn Balor, the man, not the demon. Like there's a difference. Like there's a real tangible difference when he puts on makeup. It's the same dude. Stop being a fucking 5-year-old idiot, Baron Dickhead. I hate that they write his script so stupidly. He's no good at delivering it either. His acting skills do not have me seeing him as a deserved general manager. Not that Kurt Angle was any better. But then we have this match, and it starts now. Who cares? Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor wins this match by disqualification because Balor would start swinging a chair, hitting him in the midsection with the chair, and then would force the referee to restart the match, execute an end of days on Finn Balor, and now he would win. So now we actually had 2 matches between Finn Balor and Baron Corbin on the same night, and each one gets a win. So everybody's happy. Except for me, because I just knocked my notes on the floor. Excuse me. Oh, this is how pissed off the show. That's why we bring the hammer down on Monday Night Raw every single week on this show, because this is what they bring out. I don't talk like this about a lot of the other wrestling we talk about on this channel. Even SmackDown Live, I don't swing this hard. I may tomorrow night, though. Stay tuned for that one. Make sure you're here for the SmackDown review. Sasha Banks wasted in a match with Dana Brooke. Sasha Banks was out there tonight. I'm watching her wrestle, and I feel like she just don't give a fuck anymore. She realizes that she was one of the main reasons why this revolution began. Her and Bayley and Becky and Charlotte and Paige and Emma and all the girls from NXT that actually were wrestling and putting women's wrestling back in the WWE, only to be called up and treated like garbage. Tonight is a clear example of that. A pointless match against Dana Brooke in which she was going through the motions. Go back and watch it. Everything was very half-heartedly executed, and I don't blame her. How could you blame her at all? I am firmly on the side of Sasha Banks in this instance. If she is performing the way she is because of some sort of a silent protest, or she just wants to wrestle, actually wrestle. She don't want to go out there for 3 minutes and squash Dana Brooke. She wants to go out there and wrestle. She wants to wrestle the girls like Asuka. And the girls that are coming up like Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair. She wants the actual talented wrestlers that know what they're doing in the ring with her so that she could put on classic matches. She wants to emulate an Eddie Guerrero, her favorite wrestler of all time. You think she could do that with Dana Brooke in 3 minutes? And then you wonder why Sasha Banks looks like she's lost something in her step. Looks like she's not happy. Is so miserable at the airports. Why she's not really, so welcoming to fans. Probably because of what she's going through. She's not happy. And would you be? I wouldn't be if I were Sasha Banks. I'd be walking the hell out, and I would be all in if you ask me. I know it's not that easy. We see Dean Ambrose backstage. Jinder Mahal wants him to Shanti. And then Dean Ambrose breaks his silence. Tells Jinder Mahal he wants to break his face, break his jaw, break his balls, whatever. And now we have a match. Fantastic. You really had nothing planned for Dean Ambrose outside of anything that had to do with Roman and the Shield, that you had to throw him with Jinder Mahal. Welcome back, Dino! Owens versus Rollins, Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. Kevin Owens' promo, like I said, was spot on. He said, Seth Rollins, you're only the champion, bro, because you had Dean Ambrose by your side. You got your friend back, you got your group back, you got your belt back. And I've had a real shit week. The whole summer, this whole year has been bad news for Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn's been gone. He came to SmackDown Live because he hated it over there. He thought things were going to be better, and they're not. And if he had his best friend, Sami Zayn, with him at SummerSlam, he would be standing here as the Universal Champion right now. And he's not leaving Monday Night Raw without a championship around his waist. It's like, yeah. Absolutely, I'm in. I think Kevin Owens is going to win the championship. This was a great match. You cannot deny the match was fantastic. Very back and forth between the two guys. You see Kevin Owens in a match like this, and you just don't understand. Whose cornflakes did he piss in to get pushed so far down the card? I just don't get it. He proves himself much way formidable. I don't know how I was trying to say that. He proves himself to be very formidable on the mic, in the ring. But we don't need you, Kevin Owens. This match was almost Kevin Owens's, if not for one mistake. He missed a reverse moonsault off the top rope and ended up getting the stomp from Seth Rollins, who gets the win. We come back from the break. Kevin Owens is sitting in the ring on a steel chair, not saying much, pulls the mic up to his lips, and then says he quits. And walks out. I don't blame you, buddy, all right? I quit right with you. I'm not an idiot. I know that Kevin Owens did not quit. It does open up a bunch of interesting possibilities. Maybe something new will happen with Kevin Owens in the next few weeks. Maybe we see Paul Heyman pick him up and have him as a new client. Probably going to be maybe more leaning towards Kevin Owens than Ronda Rousey. They're trying to keep her in this bubblegum babyface shit that she's in. So I don't think an alignment with Paul Heyman is fit at this time for what they're trying to push in the woman's agenda. So maybe Kevin Owens is a great client. I'd be interested in seeing that. What I'm not interested in seeing is anything that has to do with the tag team division. The WWE has killed the Revival. They killed them from the minute they came up. It just never came across on the main roster how good these guys actually were down in NXT. What they did tonight was great, but it's probably just a little bit too late, if you ask me. It's been something we've been looking forward to for so long that now that it's actually happened, and I mean, nothing really happened. They just happened to give a really good promo after they won their non-title match against the B team tonight, and then would make the challenge for another championship match. We've seen this match 4 times in the last 2 weeks. That's including 2 singles matches between both partners on each respective teams. Now, by the time the Revival get to next Monday night and their championship match, how are they going to lose now? They're going to make them a joke again? They're going to be part of this tag team championship division joke that they wanted to bring to light tonight, calling the tag team division a joke because the B team is the champions. The tag team division's been a joke way before the B team got their hands on the tag team titles, you guys. We'll get to that a little bit later. But we have the Revival beating the B team. Who cares? Worst theme music on the whole entire show. Maybe even in the whole company. It's even worse than the Spirit Squad. That's who they remind me of. They're a 2-man Spirit Squad. It's the running gag. Elias in concert. Does this guy remember that he was a wrestler? Does the WWE remember that this guy knows how to wrestle? Or are they just comfortable in making him a musician? You're really making Raw look like a traveling circus with a whole bunch of different acts, right? That's what you are. You're entertainment, so now we have to have some guy come and sing to us. I love Elias when he wrestles. The character is much more effective when you see a guy who calls himself a wrestler but plays guitar in the ring wrestling. When was the last time we've seen Elias wrestle? I don't want to hear this shtick no more. It's gotten so bad that they can't even come up with anything useful for the guy to do, that all he is a segue. Elias was a segue tonight. He was 3 minutes filler, 4 minutes, whatever they gave him to play his song, and then trash Toronto until Trish Stratus, of all people, would come out to confront Elias. Toronto is her hometown, so she was coming out to defend the Maple Leafs. And I didn't mind it, but I seen the writing on the wall. And if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen during the show, I live tweeted it out. I had a sneaky suspicion that somewhere during this whole thing between Trish Stratus and Elias, Alexa Bliss was going to come out and we were going to have a promo of sorts for WWE Evolution. That's not quite what happened, although it is still exactly the point of the whole segment. Trish was out there. She trashed Elias, told him to get to steppin' because she wanted to talk about WWE Evolution and her match with Alexa Bliss, to which Bliss still didn't come out. And then Elias is like, hey, honey, Trish, baby, I know, man, I know what you like. You want to walk with Elias, but Elias don't walk with 60-year-old women. And then Trish would just slap the shit right out of Elias. It was great. It was great, but the fact that Elias in this moment was used as nothing is just pathetic. And it's baffling that the guys with the talent are not the guys we're seeing wrestling, but we get to see Boring Trashley. You got something for Boring Trashley. He's been here 6 months. He needs to be a big part of the show. Elias has been putting in the work for years, was down in NXT. He's got a great gimmick, a great character, and can actually go in the ring. And we're going to have him in the ring to get slapped around by a WWE Hall of Famer. And not one that he should be getting smacked around by. Trish Stratus defending her hometown, great. But what was the point of this whole thing? Nothing. It was just a waste. It was a waste of Elias. Trish Stratus could have easily came out on her own, cut her promo, and then you could have had Ronda came out. Right? And then you have Natty followed by Ronda. Then you have Alexa Bliss and Alicia Fox, because we need to see Natty versus Alicia Fox tonight, right? Why? Because it's a cat and a fox? Let's see what happens. Oh. This is how you want to promote Evolution, and you put Alicia Fox in the ring. 30-second squash match. That's your Evolution segment. Not a 20-minute knock-em-down drag-out between two talented women. No, we get this. Ridiculous bullshit. Alexa Bliss wants to tell Trish Stratus, oh, don't worry, I got something for you. We got a buddy. Somebody you're quite familiar with. She wants to call out Mickie James, so now there's 3 girls on each side. There was absolutely no point to any of that. Because we've seen no interaction between Trish Stratus and Mickie James. We've seen nothing going on outside between Alexa and Ronda. We've seen Mickie and the other one, and Alexa tried to help Foxy by beating up Natty at one point while she was draped across ropes. But this all happened within a course of like 2 minutes. Next thing you know, Alicia Fox is in the sharpshooter, failing to tap out, doing some weird seal dolphin fin thing to Natty's legs before she finally would tap out. The match was tremendously short, and yet she still found time to botch twice for Natty to win. And everybody to play kiss and hug again. Now let's all be 3 happy girls, right? And then we're going to go in the back. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to bump into the Bella Twins. And going to tell the world, we're going to come back and wrestle. You could barely wrestle the first time. All of this makes me very upset because it is beginning to start to lead towards confirming Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella at Evolution as the main event for the WWE Championship. Raw Women's Championship. Why? Why do you want to see that? Why? Because you're a big Bella's fan? You want to lick some Bella boobs? Ain't gonna happen. Just like this match being good isn't gonna happen. Absolute waste. Alicia Fox can't wrestle her way out of a paper bag. She's who you want to feature during a segment for the first ever women's pay-per-view. Watch the Mae Young Classic. See the difference. Baron Corbin is backstage talking about Kevin Owens quitting to Stephanie McMahon on the phone. We have Boring Trashley entering the ring. Entering the backstage. He wants to fight somebody in the ring. Baron Corbin's like, oh, well, you know, I got things to do. I ain't got time for you, but I got a match for you. And it's right now. I don't know who it's against, but it's right now. I don't remember his name. What? Now, obviously, he was fucking with Boring Trashley, trying to mess with his head. I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what he was going to do. But he's such a bad actor. The Baron Dickhead just couldn't sell it. He didn't sell it for me. Boring Trashley goes to the ring. Captain Constable Dickhead shows up on the Titantron. Tells him he's going to have a handicap match. He's going to send out the Ascension. The Ascension. My immediate thoughts are rest in peace, Ascension. Sorry, Connor. Sorry, Victor, bro. You're dead. You're buried. You're done. Because before the bell even rang to start the match, you already knew Bobby Lashley was going to single-handedly defeat the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions of all time, 364 days atop the NXT Championship mountain in the Tag Team division, and they are being collectively beaten by a bag of trash named Bobby Lashley. Just send them a couple of tombstones, pack them up in a box, send them down to a locker somewhere, and never bring them back again. Till somebody goes and digs them up and is like, what's in the box, man? What's in the box? And then you open it up. Oh, it's the Ascension. Fucking close it and get it out of here. Dead. Rest in peace, bros. Sorry. Dean Ambrose versus Jinder Mahal. Did you give a fuck about this match? Because I didn't. You watch Dean Ambrose out there, his skin is screaming villain. I am a villain. Look at him. Don't tell me, oh, he's being crazy. There's a difference between being crazy. Mankind was crazy. You could tell the difference between when he was being a villain and when he was being happy-go-lucky Mankind. Dean Ambrose is a villain. His facials, his body language, his reactions, everything about him, screaming heel. So much so that at certain points, if you were watching this match and you didn't know anything about the WWE product, you might actually assume that Jinder Mahal was the good guy. Dean Ambrose is out there kicking the Sing Midget. He didn't give a shit. It's what we wanted to see. But instead we're seeing this. Dirty deeds to Jinder Mahal. Match over. Done. Just like Dean Ambrose. He's done. Until they decide to split the Shield, Dean Ambrose is dead. Gonna be fighting guys like Jinder Mahal. Who else? Who's next? Bobby Roode? Who else? Then we had the main event. Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman versus Ziggler and McIntyre. This match didn't even start till 11, which pissed me off. Because I know this wasn't going to be a short match featuring 4 of WWE's top guys. Chance of we want Strowman. The whole entire match. Roman Reigns getting beat down, building towards that hot tag to Braun Strowman. Which would come. But Braun Strowman would not come in and make the save. He'd stand there very ominously. The crowd was very confused. I was very confused. I'm sure you were very confused. And then what proceeded to happen. Ziggler, McIntyre, Strowman. A very odd pairing. A nonsensical pairing. The only reason for this pairing is because of the reunion of the Shield. Almost like that old Batman-Joker argument. You know, Batman created the Joker. Right? And the Joker needs Batman. They need each other. And that's the whole story they're trying to tell with Strowman and Reigns. They need each other. They're like each other's opposite. Well, then why has Braun Strowman been a babyface alongside Roman Reigns for the last 6 months? More so. You take the guy with the better reaction, the guy the fans want to see win, and you make him the bad guy. You team him against 2 guys that have momentum, bringing them into this Universal Championship feud, killing what they got going on for themselves. So 5 other men on the roster are having their careers stalled to push the agenda of one man. And you cannot watch tonight's episode and tell me I'm wrong. Although, if you want to try, you can Voice your opinion in the comments section down below. As always, which belongs to you guys. Be respectful. To find yourself on the outside looking in. I don't deal with any bullshit, so if you're going to say nothing nice and you don't want to be constructive in your criticism, keep it to your fucking self, because I don't give a shit what you have to say if you're not going to be nice about it. This is a channel for educated and smart wrestling fans that like to debate and have intellectual discussions about a sport that's probably a lot less intellectual than we like to try to make it out to be, if we're all being honest about it. Thank you guys for checking out tonight's Monday Night Raw review. I'm getting out of here. It is hot as balls in this studio. Once again, it's been a very muggy day here in New York City, and Monday Night Raw did absolutely nothing to cool me down. I am sweating like a pig. We covered absolutely everything. If I missed anything and you want to know my opinion on it, as always, drop that comment down in that comment section down below. More importantly, don't forget to smash that like buttons with your sledgehammers at home. Make sure it's lit up all bright blue. Let the whole world and me know that you enjoyed today's broadcast. And then subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so and you are not part of the over 700 tremendously knowledgeable wrestling fans that are part of the Sledgehammer Club and make me the happiest guy in the world every single week as we bring the hammer down on the WWE Raw, SmackDown, every single pay-per-view. We are here at the very least 3 times a week, so make sure you ring that notification bell so you do not miss a thing on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know you love it, especially when I put it in your ears, baby. You love it because it's real. It's real, and it's truth, and that's what we do here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Thank you guys all so very much. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, my most trusted companion, and the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball Microphone. We are so glad to be with you guys. Thank you always for supporting this channel each and every week. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Nick Nightmare is the handle, and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Later.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.